Well, hey everybody, I'm Jack. This is Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for joining me today. Hope all of you are doing well out there. Um, Getting a few things done today. I have got my first ever appointment with a chiropractor tomorrow. I think I'm going to go see if I can figure out what's going on with me. The biggest thing I have is how I'm even going to communicate it. I'm not really in pain. It's not really my back. It's just sort of like my torso is out of alignment. So anyhow, it should be interesting. Should be an experience. We'll see what happens there. I just got to thinking a little bit this morning, and this is how today's video evolved, just from me kind of just, I don't know, thinking about the tropics versus not. So the name of the video today is Raw Vegan Fruitarian Diet in the Tropics versus Now, because I've done them both. Guys, if you haven't already done it, I'd really appreciate it if you go down there and hit that subscribe button right now. Then immediately click on the little bell and check send notifications so you'll stay subscribed to the channel. Kind of it's still, I mean, in that in between switching, even though it's still super hot here, still kind of switching between the summer way of thinking, the summer fruits, just the summer living, and starting to try to kind of transition into what things are going to be like for the next few months. This is still somewhat foreign to me. You know, I've been back in the States now for about a year and 2 months. Up until then, you know, I would say out of my 6 year plus raw vegan journey, close to 5 years of it has been in the tropics. So I've been able to, you know, gather some information from being able to do it both places. And before I even get started, these are just my views, my experiences, what I've observed from my body. So who knows, your mileage may vary on that. I don't know, you know, as I was thinking about that this morning, I'm thinking, you know, we're always talking, well, number one, what is fruitarian? You know, that's kind of a vague definition, but I eat enough fruit that I believe I'm going to call myself a fruitarian. I'm not, when I say fruitarian, I don't mean that I only eat fruit. I would just say that it's a huge percentage, 80, 90, I don't know. But as I'm thinking about this, it's just, I'm thinking about doing it here versus doing it back in Costa Rica. And it's just so, you know, people like to get into that too. And I'm going to kind of talk about it from that aspect as well about, well, you know, you hear some of the hardcore lines on this raw vegan lifestyle. Well, it's our natural way of eating. And then some people, no, it's not natural, blah, blah, blah. But regardless of whether it's natural or not, I sometimes wonder, is it natural outside of the tropics? Is it natural outside of the tropics? And I try to kind of, just like I say, this is rhetorical. This is rhetorical. I don't necessarily have any clear-cut answers on this. But as I reflect back, like I say, just going by my personal experience, it is natural in the tropics. It was so much more natural in Costa Rica for a number of reasons. The climate, the heat. When I was living at the beach especially, now Costa Rica, the whole country, it's going to be warm. You know, most places are going to be warm. That last place I lived in the mountains wasn't as hot as the beach, but it was still very conducive to wanting to eat this raw vegan fruitarian diet. Because, well, let's go back to when I was living at the beach. So many reasons there. When I was living at the beach, you just don't, it's so hot all the time. I didn't use the air conditioner a lot during the day. You just didn't want anything other than light, high water content fruits. And then there was the availability. It was everywhere. It was every 30 feet, and it wasn't one or two fruits. It wasn't this whole like, okay, well, what's in season? I mean, there are seasons down there, but there's some fruits that are just there all the time, and you get in abundance all the time. Always papaya, always pineapple. Even though there are seasons and there are better times of the year for a mango, always mango. When I went to the farmer's market, you know, whether it was when I was at the beach, it was on Friday. When I was in the mountains, it was on Saturday. When I went to the farmer's market, I could easily come home with so much variety. I would come home, you know, I could come home with like 4, 5, 6, 7 different types of fruits. And yeah, it was just like, I'm trying to figure out how to communicate this. It was just I was the lifestyle down there. I just did the lifestyle. It was like just being raw vegan down there. There was no thought put into it whatsoever. You didn't really have to think about ripening the fruit. You knew there was going to be plenty of fruit around all the time. And yeah, it was just, I don't know any other way to say. If you've never lived in the tropics, you just probably can't even imagine the ease with which you get your fruit. Just close your eyes, imagine walking out your front door right now and walking for 15 minutes, and within that 15-minute walk, coming across, multiple, like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 places that you're able to get fruit, good fruit. So in that aspect, I got to thinking this morning, okay, it's very, very natural in the tropics. Yes, this lifestyle is natural in the tropics, but for people that are hardcore raw vegan, is it natural outside of the tropics? Is it a natural lifestyle where you have to work so hard? Is it a natural lifestyle where you don't get that much variety in fruit? I mean, everything about it was so much more natural, so much easier. Like say you don't have time to, you didn't have to think all the time, oh, do I need to pack something? Do I need to fix something? When I was working on the beach with that little school and shooting surf video or whatever I was doing, if I got busy, there were so many places you could just drop into and get a smoothie. And I'm talking about fresh fruit smoothies, not all this syrup and chemicals and mixes like here in the States. And even like a couple of my places where I got fruit, I could get the fruit already cut up for me. I could get fresh orange juice. So if I'm on the go, need to get in some calories, need to get in some of those carbs, I could pick some up everywhere. Now fast forward to the States, like I say, being here almost a year. And one thing that I notice is it's just my habits and my patterns on this diet, this lifestyle, actually, we should say. During the summer, when I'm able to get, okay, it's never going to be quite like the tropics. Since I've been back here, I've never had I won't say never. I can think at one time I was getting papayas and I was getting mangoes. And I might have still been getting watermelons. But anyhow, here it's been mostly just having to get by on a smaller assortment of fruit. But that's okay. And I can feel like I'm closest to the tropics in how I feel like this summer. And I know I'm just rambling here. Like I say, these are just observations of one versus the other and just kind of how I feel and the conclusions it leads me to. But since I've been here, like the summer, now I'll be honest with you, this summer I probably felt as good, better than I've ever felt in my life. And I was getting, okay, basically, let me boil it down for you. If I can get 2 or 3 different things, listen, I love my bananas. I can go for periods of time, get by on just the bananas. But I need about 3 fruits. If I've got a supply of 3 fruits, I'm good. And this summer, I was in my groove for 3 or 4 months, and I think I haven't quite figured it out yet without my watermelon juice. Get up in the morning, have watermelon juice, a lot of watermelon juice to hydrate until about 10 or 11. Then I would eat a mango meal because I was getting mangoes good all the summer. Now, the one difference that I'm having now is, okay, I don't have the watermelon anymore. I get the mango, but I don't have the abundance with the mango like I had back during the summer. The ones that I'm getting now, it's taking them a little bit longer to ripen. And yeah, so I just don't have that steady flow. Sorry, you're just going to have to put up with a little bit of background noise. Guys doing the yard this morning, and I have some things to do, so I can't just stop the video right now. But yeah, so I don't know. I mean, this summer when I was kind of in a groove where I could, I had that variety, and those 3 fruits would satisfy me. I got my fill throughout the day. I would have my bananas after I, kind of hydrated up on those high water content fruits in the morning, and all was good. now I'm kind of trying, the oranges. When the oranges come back around, when the oranges come back around, I kind of get, a new source of mangoes, and I have regular mangoes again. Then I'll settle into orange juice, mangoes, and bananas, and salads, and whatever. But bottom line is I know how, I say this over and over and over. I spend more time by myself, and I'm probably more observant of myself and my body than 99% of the people out there. Like I say, just due to my circumstances. So I know myself, I know my body, I know the subtleties. And a lot of people will say the same thing. A lot of people, listen, I have bullshit go in one ear and out the ear all day long about people swearing they know this, they know this, they know this. And I don't think people can really know certain things about their body if they don't have something to compare it with. If they've never really been clean, if they've never really done a very clean version of this lifestyle, they don't really have anything to compare it with. And yes, they feel great. They feel great if they're comparing that to when they used to be on when they used to be on the standard American diet. But you're comparing apples and oranges there, so to speak. Nice fruit pun, huh? Well, the conclusion for me is I know what I know. I know how I feel. I know what works for me, what doesn't work for me, and I know, like I say, I have my ideas on this lifestyle and how I do this lifestyle. Once again, never going to tell anybody else what they need to do, how it needs to be done. I just know how I want to do it for me. And at some point, whether I make it or not, and I will be, I try to be satisfied, content, wherever I am, whatever's going on. Not my contentness not being dependent on outside circumstances, in other words. But yeah, every cell in my body screams like at some point, I will get back to the tropics. For me, if I'm going to do this lifestyle, it just goes hand in hand for me to try to do it in the tropics and to at least have that vision for the future to get back to there, because I've had that taste. And once I say, if you ever go spend an extended period of time in the tropics where it's good, hot, warm, where there's an abundance of fruit, you're going to see what I'm talking about. You're not going to have to try there. Like I believe this with every fiber of my being, and that's why I wanted people to come visit, and everybody's they have this and that to do. That's why I tried to get people to come see me in Costa Rica, because I wanted them to see that it's really like, how can you not do it there? In other words, like everything is conducive for it there. So yeah, for me, I'm going to keep doing the best I can while I'm here, while I'm not in the tropics. But this is definitely a tropical lifestyle for me, and it's all about the fruit. Now, as I say, it's all about the fruit. I do like my greens. I don't like to get in the middle of these people that have their hardcore arguments about, we have to have this much greens. We don't need any greens. It's all fruit. It's no fruit. I'm just not into all that kind of stuff. But for me, yeah, it's always going to be about the fruit as the base for my diet. So anyhow, I'm just rambling today, but just kind of my thoughts on doing it in two different places. So anyhow, hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.